The phrase "once in a blue moon" refers to something that's absurd or rarely happens. It might describe, for example, how often I get a birdie when I play golf. Well, last week you may have heard the term blue moon used to describe an event involving the real moon, specifically the full moon. Now, the moon is full every 29.5 days, so occasionally 2 full moons occur in a calendar month. And that's what happened in May in North America. The moon was full on May 2nd and then again on May 31st. That second full moon in a month has been called a blue moon by astronomers, and it happens on average once every 2.5 to 3 years. But this popular description of a blue moon is wrong. It's a misinterpretation of the more complicated original definition. Now consider that in some years you'll have 13 full moons instead of 12. And in those years, one of the seasons will have to have 4 full moons instead of 3. By the original definition, a blue moon is the 3rd full moon in the season with 4. This rule originated in the Christian calendar, where certain full moons determine key holidays. For example, the first full moon of spring helps set the date of Easter. A year with 13 full moons messed up the timing in the calendar, and calling the extra one a blue moon helped preserve the relationship between these holidays and the lunar cycle. Whichever definition you use, this blue moon doesn't actually look blue, but there are times when the moon can appear bluish. Forest firefighters will tell you the moon and the sun sometimes look blue when viewed through smoky skies. And occasionally, after great volcanic eruptions, the moon and sun have also appeared blue. Now, the key to a real blue moon is having just the right amount of tiny particles in the air of diameter between 500 and 1,000 billionth of a meter. When sunlight, which has all the colors in it, encounters these particles, more of the shorter wavelengths, the greens, blues, and violets, gets through than the longer wavelengths of yellow and red. Our eyes perceive that unequal mixture as a bluish tint. Now, one of the most well-known episodes of blue suns and moons occurred in 1950, when winds carried oily smoke from huge fires in Canada into the eastern U.S. Wherever the smoke cleared enough so that the sun or moon was visible, it looked lavender or blue, even in Pennsylvania. A gentleman named Tom Whiting, who lived in Newcastle at the time, shared this description with me. It got really dark in the daytime, like 1 or 2 p.m., and you could smell the slight odor of smoke. For a night or two, we had this bluish tinged near full moon. Now, Tom lives in Erie now, and this early sky watching has stuck with him. He's now the president of the Erie County Mobile Observers Group. You can find him with his 30-inch telescope observing the dark night skies at Cherry Springs State Park in Potter County on nearly every new moon weekend. Paul Knight will be here with the extended forecast next.